It's a picture of our dog, Brody. And so now that I've got a picture here, I obviously don't want all this background, so I'm going to use my cropping tool. That's just about right. So then just use your cropping tool and crop. Now that you've got the picture that you need, just by dragging my corner, I'm going to expand my picture to just almost the full page. I'm keeping in mind that I'm going to be using this in a matted frame that is 7.5 by 9.5 inches. So this is almost the full page, so that should work quite well. So now that you've enlarged your photo, you want to turn this into a grayscale. So I'm going to go up and use my color adjustments, and I'm going to choose grayscale. So this is ready for your next step. You just need to print this off on your printer now. If you choose not to have any wording, I've chosen to have the wording Brody down here. That was the name of our dog. So I'm going to insert text box, and I'm going to type the word Brody in caps. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to go back to home and change this to Arial, and I'll change the point to, let's try 142. I'm going to choose to go into wrap text, and I want this to say behind text. So now you can see what's happened is you can see the background here, so you can see your placement. So if you wanted to be a bit further down or closer to the top of your actual photo. Stretch this out. Now we have the full word Brody. I'm going to make one more adjustment because we don't need the solid line in here because we're going to use this as a guide to do our Zentangle in. So I'm going to choose my outline option, and we'll try this one here. Fits in there, and I've got it lined up pretty good. So now you're ready to print. All right, so here's my printed copy of Brody that we worked on the computer together with. And what I'm going to be using today is the artist marker pad, and this comes in 11 by 14. So I'll be using one of those pieces, and I chose this because it's really good for the marker pens, and my frame just happens to be the perfect size, so there's no cutting that I need to do, so that'll just fit in there perfectly. So what you want to also do is, if you've got your paper, you'll need your micron pigment pens, and I've got a variety of sizes, or anything from a 1 to a 0.8. I also have a blending stump and a pencil that you want for the tracing part of it, and you'll want to pick up some carbon paper. So what I'm going to be doing is placing a piece of carbon paper, obviously the black side down, and you can center that in on your paper, and I'll just put a little bit of tape on that just to hold it in place, just on the top. And then you're going to put your picture on top of that, and you get the matting board that you're going to use, because that will fit right over top of your white paper. So now I know that this has got to be adjusted just to bring it up a bit on that side there. Very carefully lift your matting board off and tape that in place just on the top. As you see here, I've chosen to go a light pattern, a dark pattern, sort of in between pattern, a little bit darker, lighter one here. So I'm trying to go dark, light, you know, and so you can see your different outlines of your actual dog. So I see a shape right here. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to shape this down and bring it around. And this will be one area that you'll actually do a Zentangle pattern in. So if you lift that up, there's your pattern underneath. So continue to do that, and you'll want to go, I'd say for the hair, I would probably make it jagged as well. I'd probably come in here and follow some of the hairline, and you can put that into a Zentangle pattern. So there'd be another shape. And again with the ear up here, I've got an ear shape up in here. So I've gone around most of the shapes, and I've checked underneath, and I think I've got most of it done. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go around with the 08 Pigma Micron pen. You can see the 08 is usually marked on here or on the top of your pen. And if I see any areas that are too big, because I want to keep all my sections on the smaller side so I can fill in each one with a different pattern. And if there's some I need to fix, then I can do that at this point in time. So I think even down here, I'm going to break this section from this section. So I'll just bring this line down, and that will now be a section, and this will be a section. And the same with this here, I'll probably just bring that down to touch to the bottom there. So just go around all your outlines now and make it a little bit cleaner, and then follow your carbon lines and just go over with your Pigma pen on all your lines now. Now to clean up some of your carbon lines, I would just go in with a white eraser and just go in and just tidy it up a bit. Don't be too stressed that it's going to leave a little bit of black or on the page, because it all adds to shading when you're finished with the Zentangle. It's not a bad thing. So, and when you're erasing, you can probably find, if you've missed a line, you'll be able to find it then. And actually right here, it looks like I've missed a line there. So that'll just, you'll be able to see it now, and you can just fill it in again with the Pigma pens. So once you've actually cleaned up your paper a bit with your eraser and you've confirmed all your lines are drawn in with your Pigma pen, now you can go on in with the fun part and choose your Zentangle patterns. And there's many, many, many Zentangle patterns and tutorials on YouTube. So fill your boots with that. Start one pattern here just to give the idea. So I'll go in here right now, and I'm going to make a pattern right in here. Probably with this one, I'd probably go back in again and make the lines that I first put in just a little bit darker, just to make it pop a little bit more. And then what you want to do with your pencil and your blender is put a little bit of shading. So I would put shading just in the middle here, over here. And then with your blending stump, just blend that in. Just gives it a little bit more dimension and makes it pop that little bit more. There's your first pattern. So continue in different areas of your pet portrait with different Zentangle patterns. And I think for this one here, I would do a darker pattern and then a lighter pattern here. And I won't show you how to do all those patterns because there's so many on the internet that you can copy. So here's the finished Zentangle of Brody, and I always sign it with my Zentangle signature and my date. And then I will be putting in the frame. And there we have the completed portrait of your special pet. Mine, of course, is a Sheltie named Brody. I hope you enjoyed that. Have fun with your Zentangle.